Me and the boys with multiplayer system. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. I used to think being an adult seemed like a lot of fun and freedom. Then I realize, nope, it really sucks now that I'm almost an adult. I just graduated high school. I keep wondering, will my buddies and I stay the same after that? We'll all be busy with our own lives soon. Even so, no matter how busy our lives get, I don't think we'll ever forget about each other. We've been like brothers since we were little, sharing the same cramped room with 2 bunk beds in that rundown orphanage. Later, after the graduation ceremony, we celebrated our high school graduation by traveling to the countryside, NZ, and later Japan. However, life never really goes according to plan. Yeah, it sucks. On the last trip of our celebration holiday, Truck-kun crashed into me. There was no pain. I couldn't even move. No tears or mourning. I just stared at my 3 idiot brothers, who looked at me without a hint of sadness. Instead of those cliché moments, what I heard from them was, "Fuck, that truck is running away. Should we call an ambulance or just let him die? I mean, if he dies, we could get his insurance money." Kakik, cough. I mean, don't worry, we'll use your savings well, brother. I'll get revenge and sue the truck's company for running away. At least, I'll take half their assets to make you rest in your grave peacefully. So, don't worry and die. Please? I beg you. Man, he just got hit by a truck and died that easily? How weak. He should at least have gone to the gym more often like me. TCH. But don't worry, my friend, it was really fun knowing you. I shall remember you for the rest of my life. Don't worry, I'll clear your browser history. So, rest in peace. Fuck these retards? Shouldn't they be a bit emotional? I was dying, come on. Dying at the age of 17 was such a waste. I mean, what the fuck? My life wasn't so bad. I had gotten myself into the best med school in Europe. Here in the US is not that bad, but I'm broke as fuck. Yeah, fuck student loans. Anyway, my dream had always been to become a surgeon. Why did I have to die? This sucks. Wait, no, just kidding. Ha 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 ha. Well, you'll know why. I'm home. It's Monday, 6 in the morning. I just finished jogging around the neighborhood and arrived at my new home. It's weird to see Hachiman waking up so early in a tracksuit. Are you really Hachiman? Komaki is happy, but don't push those legs too much, okay? Anyway, welcome back, Ani-chan. How mean, I smirk. Yay, I'm back. Oh, I was about to cook breakfast, but you beat me to it. Komaki rubs her nose with a smug look. He, of course, since Komaki is the best little sister, I won't allow Ani-chan to cook. Such a cute little sister. When I arrived, I saw Komaki in her apron as she made breakfast. Yeah, that's right. Somehow, I woke up in the body of 15-year-old Hakigaya Hachiman. At first, I thought I was going crazy or that this was simply a dream people have when they die. After 2 days, I knew that this was reality, and I accepted it. Since I'm a huge anime fan, which makes me an otaku, it wasn't too difficult to believe. Of course, if you asked me in real life, I'd never admit that I'm an otaku. But I knew. I had become the protagonist of my favorite novel, Oregairu. I'm really glad those bastards let me die back then. Because now, I'm happy to have my own family. Sigh, I'm sorry boys, and I wish the best for the former Hachiman. Why did Ani-chan start praying out of nowhere? Komaki looked at me strangely. It's nothing, I'm just grateful to have a little sister, that's all. Oh, ha. Of course, you should be grateful for that. Komaki will give Ani-chan 80 points. What is this fanfiction main character moment? For real, man. It's easy for me to forget my past since this new life fills that void. I'll help you out a bit. Mao, I told you it's alright. Well, since Ani-chan insists, I'll let this slide for now. But you should hurry up before Dad sees us like this. Nah, it's okay since this is normal. I smiled helplessly since Mr. Hakigaya, my father, seemed a little too clingy to his daughter. He keeps saying that if I get too close to her, he'll kill me. Why? I'll not turning this house to Alabama household. Normal? There's nothing normal about us looking like a couple preparing breakfast. Wait, I never knew Ani-chan had such knife skills. Don't tell me you've been cooking behind Komaki's back. When I saw Komaki pouting, I just giggled. She was just teasing me. Well, I just copied it from my bro Koff. Huh? Since when do you have a friend who's good at cooking? I mean, I saw it on 6tube. That's a lie. Just look at this. It usually takes me time to chop everything, but Ani-chan does it instantly. I hummed. Maybe I have a talent for this. That smug look is a challenge for Komaki. Alright, let's have a cooking match after school is over, Komaki said with a grin. Okay, don't cry when my food is better. Fufu, so be it. Hakiman's POV. It's weird. I just barely graduated from high school, but suddenly I've become a high schooler again. Watching my new face, I thought to myself that I'm not gay, but Hakiman's face could be handsome if he fixed these dead eyes. Yesterday, I found a pair of round glasses, which explains his poor eyesight. Maybe he didn't like wearing glasses, but I decided to wear them anyway. Well, I used to wear glasses too, so it doesn't matter. It'll take time, but eventually, I won't need them if my eyesight improves. When I wear them, I don't have to squint all the time, and Hakiman's dead eyes don't show anymore, except for the ahog on top of my head. Right, gotta fix this later. As time passed, I headed out to school with Komaki. The air was warm. Yeah, it's summer and the summer break is over. More importantly, there is something different from the original Aregero. Firstly, Hakigaya household lives in Tokyo instead of Chiba. I also noticed that our house is in a rich neighborhood, meaning Hachiman's parents are well off. Whether Hachiman was rich in the original is irrelevant because I also noticed this world is a crossover. What is it, Ani-chan? Nothing. My sister asked because I was staring at her white middle school uniform from Shuchiin Academy. Then why are you staring at Komaka's uniform so much? Don't tell me. Uniforms are Ani-chan's new fetish. No way. As I said before, this world is a crossover. The fact that my sister and I are enrolled at Shuchiin Academy is something that shouldn't happen in the original. Well, there's more to be surprised about. Don't misunderstand. In my eyes, my sister's uniform is just normal fabric. That's right, I'm not seeing Komaka that way. Whoa, it's okay, so don't be shy, Ani-chan. It's rude to say that when Komaki is the cutest little sister. I mean, I'm quite popular in school too, you know. Well, I'm quite the siskin, so reject all the guys even if it kills them. Komaka giggled at me. Fufu Komaki already knows that Ani-chan is such a dishonest tsundere. If boys start approaching her, I'll beat the crap out of them. After walking for about 10 minutes, we arrived at Shuchiin Middle School. Well, I had to make sure my sister was safe before anything else. Also, I didn't have to worry about being late since, even though it was separate, all I needed to do was walk a little bit to the high school. Right then, Komaki will see you later. Yeah, see you again. She waves at me as Komaki runs to her friends. As I watched her, I suddenly heard a metal clacking sound and glanced over. Sigh, another D-rank gate, huh? You're complaining when you're weak. Our party isn't strong enough for a C-rank gate. About 12 people walked past me in heavy armor, wizard-like robes, and some even carrying huge staffs. While cosplaying was a common sight here, but for your information, they weren't cosplaying at all. Having just woken up 2 days ago, you might think I'm a creepy siskin. But the world has gone crazy since tunnels to other worlds, called gates, appeared 10 years ago. Then humanity unexpectedly acquired magical abilities and started hunting monsters. I think, being a siskin is justified enough. Well, I later realized that this world is modeled after solo leveling when I recognized key characters such as Thomas Andre, the American National Level Hunter, and Cha Hae-in, the recent 9th Korean S-rank hunter. Since I am now Japanese, I even saw a billboard featuring Tawada Kani, a Japanese S-rank hunter. Yeah, it's a crossover world. Crap, it feels so weird to have just graduated and now I'm back. Damn, this school is exactly like the anime. I arrived at my school. Looking at this high school, it's the exact place where Love is War takes place. After that, I entered the school, but later I felt something was weird. I blended into the new environment without any problems, but at the same time, it felt like my first time here. After all, I wasn't Japanese before. It's awkward. To be honest, I don't remember much of Hachiman's memories except for his family, some basic common sense about being Japanese, and his painful experiences. Plus, I don't have Hachiman's personality. While he's not a hated character, I don't want his personality to change who I am. 1B. I found my class without any trouble. When I slid the door open, people started gazing at me. Who is he? Transfer student. He looks familiar though. There wasn't a significant change except in Hachiman's attitude and his eyes, but Hachiman's classmates didn't recognize him. This noticeable indifference happened because Hachiman had been hit by a car due to a stupid dog, so he was hospitalized, which later made him an outcast since everyone had already formed their circles. Yeah, that hasn't changed apparently. Others were curious about me because they had treated Hachiman like air before, and the fact that summer break had just ended a week ago made Hachiman's presence even worse. After that, I sat down in my chair at the back of the class, and by then, my classmates realized who I was. Oh, he's that gloomy dude. Yeah, he always sat alone and didn't talk much. I remember that he broke his legs or something. It took some time before they got busy with their own things again and ignored that one guy who changed a little. It didn't matter, though. With that, the class started, and time passed quickly until the sound of the old bell ringing signaled lunchtime. I got up, as this was what I had been waiting for. I stopped a moment and glanced around. In this class, I already noticed characters from both Aregera and Love is War. Hachiman's classmates like in the anime Uegahama Yui, Kawasaki Saki, Trap Saika, and Hayama's Circle. Then, there was Fujiwara Chika and side characters like Shijo Maki, although I didn't see the main character here. Well, it was good to see these characters, but what piqued my interest was the blue window floating in front of me since the moment I became Hachiman 2 days ago. Quest, come to your school's rooftop within 2 days of receiving this message. Reward, system activation. I could hide this blue floating window, but it always popped out to remind me of the quest. I wondered why I needed to go to the school rooftop to activate the system. Well, it didn't matter. What mattered was that I had a cheat. Woohoo! Yes yes yes. With this, I could protect myself and my family from monsters. Of course, cough. This cliché development would end up with me gathering my harem. I mean, I'm not confused. I don't have to be that one hypocritical main character from some fanfic who struggles to convince himself to have a harem and then leads me to long-ass shit development. With a smile, I walked through the hallway. I walked up the staircase that led me to the rooftop. When I opened the door, I suddenly heard someone counting with heavy breaths as if this person was doing push-ups. I was right, mumbling, I looked at the guy with gray hair. I understood why he was so excited. I'm sure he was motivated to lose some weight. Wait, isn't he Hachiman's friend with 8th grade syndromes? His name is Zamokusa Yoshitaro, right? I remembered him when Hachiman and the service club reviewed his light novel draft. Nico, was he the last one? I don't on. Nico? My heart suddenly stopped when I heard it. I shut the door as I looked at the two people I knew. The guy with a serious face, blonde hair, and blue eyes, Shirogane Miyuki, and on his left, the sleepy guy with neck-length black hair covering his left eye, Ishigami Yu. Given that I attended Shuchiin, these guys were undoubtedly the main characters from Love is War. So why were they here? Shouldn't they be strangers to each other at this time? After all, Shirogane Miyuki is still a first year like me, and Ishigami Yu is still in his final year of middle school. When the three of us looked at each other, huffed. Fuck. This body is a failure? What the fuck is going on? It's like I'm just eating cheeseburgers 6 times a day. Bring me back to my body? My 10 ABS, the gray-haired dude shouted. I gulped. How long do I have to wait for this shit? Come on, system. Time is money and I need money? Fuck this. Why should I become this random dude and lose all my investment? Glancing, that blonde dude was yapping something familiar. This is bullshit. Clear blue sky, really peaceful. I'm sleepy now. Please, wake me up when I care. That laziness. You, errand boy. I notice you're looking at us way too much. What's the problem? For your information, this place has been reserved, which means you're in the wrong place. Zamokusa Yoshi crap, his name is too long. Anyway, he walked toward me, glaring while cracking his fists. Wait, actually I'm here for. This is bad. This guy didn't even care about what I was going to say, he already swung his fist at me? Oh. He smiled as I managed to avoid it. I glanced at the two, Miyuki watching us with amused eyes, while you didn't seem interested at all. That devilish smile from Miyuki. I was certain that these fuckers were. Wait, I'm here because of the system quest. Ha ha ha. Cut the crap. If you can dodge that, there's no reason to stop this fight. What about this then? I grabbed his right upper sleeve and then tackled his left foot as I pushed him down. I'm trying to be easy here, but fuck. You didn't even want to listen. My right fist went to his face as he smirked. What was he going to do? But then, I widened my eyes as a blue window appeared. I stopped, and I could see, this dude had the same facial expression as me. Quest has been completed. Congratulations players. Welcome player Chris aka Shirogane Miyuki. Welcome player Nico aka Ishigami Yu. Welcome player Nolan aka Hakigaya Hachiman. Welcome player Rudy aka Zamokusa Yoshitaro. These names, shit. Chapter 2, Chapter 2. In my past life, since I didn't have a family, I held 3 people as a family even though we weren't related. The first was a guy who loved money so much that he would drool while counting it. That guy's name was Chris, the most ambitious among us. There was also a guy who only thought about his muscles and never missed a chance to surpass his limits, Rudy. Even though he was an airhead, Rudy was a sports prodigy who secured a spot in the NBA. He will have played for a major team right after graduation. Lastly, there was Nico, a programming genius. Unlike the other two, he wasn't troublesome and was a chill dude, but he had a serious problem with laziness. I remember he almost dropped out of school because he forgot to take the final exam. The last one was me, the genius who would become a surgeon. Anyhow, how did this happen? Shouldn't I be special in this world? TCH? If I knew this would happen all my excitement about being transmigrated into another anime world in the past 2 days is now gone. Nolan. Rudy grabbed my shoulder. Hell, man. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I thought I wouldn't see you again brother, but here we are. Ha 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 ha. Shut up. What's with that face? Don't tell me you're pissed off. I get it, man. Before we met again like this, you were probably stoked to get a second chance as your favorite character and thought you'd be the main dude with a harem. But now, you're probably thinking, this shouldn't be happening to me. Oh, look at that annoyed face, Keek. I knew I was right. Shut up. The one who talked first and then laughed like a maniac was Rudy, now Yoshitaro, and the one who grinned and stated the facts about me was Chris, now Miyuki. Both of them kept laughing as I stood between them with an unamused face. Image. I can't deny it. They know how my inner mind works. They know I was so happy to become Hachiman, and I'd surely develop a god complex as a young master without realizing it. Their laughter is mocking me for being ridiculous. With that, I can't go through with my plan to gather all the girls like Pokemon when my brothers will just look at me and cringe. Fuck it. For your information, my past name was Nolan. I'm back with the coffee, said Nico, now Ishigami Yu. He stopped, looking at me with pity. Chris, Rudy, I think you guys shouldn't laugh at him that loud. Sorry, Nolan. Despite being lazy, Nico's good point was that he was a polite gentleman. Shut it. Nolan? Who the hell is Nolan? I don't know you all. You guys are scammers. Yet, this situation is hey, it's me. Do you remember me? Unfortunately, I'm not the guy who falls for scammers. I clicked my tongue at them in the end. That situation perfectly describes us, but we have the same system that just tells our past names, and this retard who only knows about lifting weights didn't lie that he was Rudy. There's nothing wrong with lifting heavy weights and never skipping leg day, but you're mistaken. I'm the person who never skips neck day. Unlike you, I'm not a man who succumbs to money. Shut up. All of you, just go back or live somewhere else. I should be special in this world? How? What the fuck is going on here? You guys should just aim for another universe? Then, I remembered the last time. You all should be alive. Tell me. Chris giggled. Our plane crashed somewhere, it's a scary coincidence. I looked at them flatly. That's why you shouldn't buy half-price tickets. Damn it, forget it. He had a point. Still, it's so annoying to have my homie here. Anyway, we're all here in another world. Alright, boys. The blonde, Miyuki, said with a devilish smile. Before that, let's throw away our past life names by introducing our new name. Starting with me, Miyuki. Shirogane Miyuki. Then the guy with long black hair and black eyes said, Ishigami Yu. Just call me Yu. He said in a calm tone. The fuck, said the gray-haired guy with a fat belly. Repeat your name. Yu. Are you mocking us? No. Like I said, I'm Yu. Okay, let me beat this annoying punk first. This retard, hold up, man. I stopped him before he threw a punch, but Nico, I mean you, just stood there calmly. Move, or you'll be moved. Listen, at this point, you understand Japanese, right? His name is Yu and not you, damn it. Rudy hummed. That makes sense. Ha ha ha, sorry, pal, he said, then laughed as if nothing happened. I sighed. Chris was right about our past life. Well then, my name is Hakigaya Hachimon. Hachimon is fine. Hachimon, HM whatever. Well, my name is Seimokusa Yoshiteru. Rudy or Yoshiteru, call me whatever you want. As expected, my friends also transmigrated as characters from anime. It was then that Miyuki cleared his throat. While we're busy mocking, celebrating our reunion, what do you think this lobby means by the system? Miyuki got straight to the point, knowing we didn't need to figure out that we all had the same system that led us here by previous quests. To explain the system, please enter the lobby. If you intend to enter the lobby, the keyword is lobby. Would you like to see the lobby? What the heck is this lobby all about? Yoshiteru said, raising his brow. Doesn't it sound like something from a game? You said, humming. Then I asked him, what do you mean? I don't play games that much. What I know is that a lobby is usually a place in the game for recharging magic or something. I think it's more like the starting point. You can also talk to other players or buy something in the lobby. Shortly, it's the menu. You explained. Shortly, our case is something like a base. This smells fishy. You shrugged. Maybe. Then why don't we see for ourselves? I said, and the three looked at me as if to say, are you crazy? You sighed and said, even with a floating window in front of me, no one in their right mind would blindly follow what the system says without questioning it first. Either that's true, or I'm just starting to lose it. Miyuki laughed. Well, except if they have some issue with their brain. Being skeptical at first is important. For the retards, I could say, if others have the same situation as us, they'll follow the system like donkey. Just look at this fatso now. Even this guy doesn't believe it that much. Yoshiteru just nodded. I've got common sense. I giggled. Well, I understand that clearly. I'm lying as smooth as breathing the air. These fuckers just roasted fanfiction protagonists in 69 ways. I mean, for real, the fact that it was literally me. I got a system, and then reincarnated in an anime crossover world turned my brain into sleeping mode. That's how excited I was. For now, let's just be hypocritical and pretend that I'm a super collected dude. So, what now? My question made them hum loudly. I couldn't tell about that. Oh. Miyuki was cut off as the ringing bell signaled that lunch break was over. Ah, shit. I looked at the tower clock and cursed since I hadn't yet visited the school cafeteria. After all, the cafeteria is commonplace to see all the students in this school, and I wanted to see them. Guys, it seems. When I looked back at them, they were all smiling. Since this is literally our first day at school, boys, you know the drill, Miyuki said with a devilish smile. Yoshiteru laughed. Sir. Skipping class on the first day is inevitable. Besides, we're still adapting to this world. You offered more justification. Definitely. Miyuki chuckled. We don't want to get caught by the teachers. Plus, unlike us, our buddy Yuchi is still a third year in middle school. So, finding a spot to hang out together is a bit tricky. This means we have to trust the system a bit because, right now, the best place to skip class and not get caught by the teachers is, without a doubt, the lobby. Miyuki finished as Yoshiteru and Yu nodded in agreement. Wait, guys, I mean, we don't have to do that again, right? Being delinquent was in the past, right? I mean, we all have families now, right? We need to be responsible teenagers and excel in everything to make them proud, right? They paused for a moment. Nah, we're still Adapt X3. Are these dudes, for real? How about the girls? I mean, sometimes, we watch anime together, right? You guys aren't interested in. They cringed at me. No X3. Their expressions told me so. It seems we still have a disagreement. Thankfully, democracy solves almost everything. Miyuki said, then continued, alright, raise your hand if you want to go back to class. Of course, I raised my hand, but I was alone. Just one vote? Alright, raise your hand if you know what I mean. Miyuki, Yoshiteru, and Yu raised their hands. Alright, boys. On my mark. I'll count to 3, then we'll say the keyword together. Sir. Hey. 3, 2, 1. Lobby/lobby/lobby. With a flash of blue light, they vanished without a trace. Shit. I knelt, hammering the floor a few times. Why can't I just be like that one random dude in fanfiction who goes solo, gets lucky, becomes overpowered, and collects girls like Pokemon? That should be me? Fuck it. I sat on the floor and then breathed calmly. Nothing was going according to plan. What is this feeling? Now, it somehow felt annoyingly more realistic compared to when I woke up as Hachiman 2 days ago. Son of a bitch. Lobby. After my tantrum, I vanished. Chapter 3. The air is different. It's so refreshing compared to before. I mean, it's incomparable. When I look around, my surroundings are also completely different instantly. Party members have been settled. Welcome to the lobby, player Hakigaya Hachiman. Starting the system. Whoa, flowers? So beautiful. My mouth opens wide, ignoring the system since this place is absolutely stunning, but then I slap my cheeks and come back to my senses. I believe this is a sight I'll never forget. My body stiffens like a country bumpkin experiencing the city for the first time. I look around. I've never been to this place, but it looks familiar. Behind the clouds, the sky is full of stars, and yet the land is bright like day. The infinity lake, no, that looks like an endless sea as the water cascades like a waterfall to the unknown. Mountains with snow on top and beautiful rivers coming down until they meet the endless sea. This place is more like a version of the flat earth. No, it's more like a floating island. This beautiful landscape. Something was missing. Wait, where did I see this before? If I could describe this place in one name. Asgard? Holy cow, that's it. If Odin's ancestors aren't here yet, then this place is certainly Asgard, but when it was still empty of their civilization? Wait, this place is the lobby? I thought it would be a vast white room or just a shady place, but they gave us a big flying island instead. Haki, get your ass here ASAP. The water is so good. Yoshitaro called as I saw the other boys swimming in the calm river. Even the boys were starting to enjoy this paradise without worry. Shouldn't we listen to the system first? But the system seems calm, unlike others that usually slap the slave the host with punishment. Slap? I slapped my cheek again. Ahaha, wait for me, boys. Ahahaha yahuo. I threw my school uniform away, even my boxers too. I ran to the river playfully through the flowers and then jumped into the water. Miyuki's POV. Gahahaha. I caught this lobster with my bare hands, boys. Dude, be quiet. This is not the second life I signed up for. Flirting with the girls, having a beautiful school life, chit-chat with Haratsuka-sensei, hee. What the hell is that? Sounds delicious. Instead, here I am with the boys, chilling naked by the riverside paradise. Sniff. This is fraud. Ignoring them, I was thinking of something else. The lobby. It was the place we didn't expect. It's the same as we never thought the first quest would gather us together again. After we were done playing in the water, the system explained how it works and what use this place called the lobby has. The system seems to have taken the reference of Asgard from the MCU. More importantly, this quest has activated our system. The system's got a point. It's active, but it doesn't mean it's in full function. Hachiman's side, it's like the system is telling us that if we want to clear the ads, we must buy a subscription first. Why do I have a feeling there will be a bunch of ads later? I looked at the system. Identity. Name, Shirogane Miyuki. Age, 15. Race, human. Class, none. Level, 1. HP, 100/100. MP, fatigue, 0. Stats, strength, health, agility, sense, intelligence. Passive skills, none. Active skills, none. That's it, I said, expecting more. Bitch, my fantasy had been ruined. Most likely. I glanced at Yuchi and I could see his status window, while I could only see the status windows except for the notification. Well, it's useless anyway since it will be the same as mine. I think it's the same as Sung Jinwoo's stats. Well, the look is pretty much the same except I don't see any stats points. Sigh. Hachiman was saying something about him. Well, I know about him since we once read the comics. It's a hype story about the weak becoming strong. But, I didn't expect that I would enter that story as a Japanese. Unlike Hachiman, I didn't like it at all. So, this thing will make us strong. Yoshiteru said with his arms crossed. Probably, but why don't we get basic stuff? Shouldn't we be able to try gacha as a tutorial? Haki, why do you think like that? I said as he chuckled. Well, I'm just saying it since I read too much fanfiction lately where the MC gets strong without even trying. Haha. It seems this system is stingy. I don't even see the inventory here. I hummed as I wasn't sure about what he just said, but at least he was right about the system. Anyway, let's read this info dump first. I started reading the information about the system. Status. By saying status directly or by thought, you can see how strong you are. Lobby. The flying island that has strong mana. The bridge between worlds. Players can use it as a starting point and train before clearing the floors. Instant healing functions are available everywhere in the lobby, so players can train without worrying about recovery. Once the floors have been cleared, players can bring the lobby from this dimension to the world that has been cleared. Disclaimer, the system won't provide players assistance to develop the lobby. However, you might get something from gacha. Tower. Become strong by clearing all the floors. Your world is in great danger. This tower was prepared to help players become strong as a team. Gacha. The rarity of gacha is divided into normal, rare, super rare, and ultra rare. Every time you clear a floor, your party will get gacha. The descriptions are simple. In summary, the lobby is our cave to heal and train. The tower is like the gate from the world we reincarnated to. By climbing the tower, we can level up and get the gacha as the prize. I said as everyone seemed to understand that too. Shouldn't we have stat points to raise our stats? I don't see them anywhere, so, how about you guys? Hachiman was referring to Sung Jinwoo's system again, wasn't he? Me neither. It seems this system works differently. Such a pity. I mean, we could get strong by doing Saitama's daily workout. You've got a point, Haki. Unless you have 2 hearts inside your chest, that's probably not going to work. TCH. I don't like this. It sounds like we'll become slaves to this system. Yoshiteru had the same concern I did. However, I know that feeling well, Rudy. But I noticed, it doesn't seem like the system forces us to enter the tower. The system should impose punishment or penalties like Sung Jinwoo's, but it doesn't. It clearly says all of this is prepared for us to get strong, but it sounds like the system doesn't care if we don't use it. Their silence confirmed it. I smiled internally. Did they think I said those things without thinking first? These guys have different egos and want to do things their own way. Well, me too. What do you think big countries build nukes for? I need strength that'll become a source of money. The tower also excites me since the system said that if a specific world is cleared, I could explore and exploit its resources. Who gives a shit about me becoming an anime protagonist? That's hilarious. Chris, that's me, is not antisocial. I welcome everyone as a friend of benefit. But I don't give a fuck about heroine roots or their cheap fuck drama. I mean, look at all of this. It's like free real estate for me, an investment I'll go die hard working for. But I need the boys as well, and I'm worried about them. I don't want to see my brothers have pathetic lives, so I have to convince them to get strong. So, it's up to us to decide, you said with a sigh. What a drag. What choice do I have? Yuchi, took my bait. This guy sure will say, nah, I'm good, then shut himself in his room again. Now, I glanced at Hachiman. Sure, this guy. Since he got a second chance in the world he likes, I bet he'll be hard to convince. That's cool. But guys, let's do that later, shall we? I mean, we still need to socialize with our new family at home. We haven't even attended our first class correctly, so I think it's too soon for us. Well, I have something else to do with my sister too. I sighed as I crossed my arms. Man, are you being serious? I am. Look, I'm happy to see you all and that we have the same cheat, but I have to keep my priorities. Hachiman looked at me as if he wasn't joking. What priority? Are you that desperate to get along with the chicks? What the hell was that, man? There's nothing wrong with me spending my time in school or with my family. Look, I know we're brothers, but don't cross the line. As he said this, the first guy to react was Yoshiteru. Keep saying that bullshit, I'll beat your ass for real. Look at this guy. Why are you so triggered about it? Rudy, back off, I said as I tapped his shoulder. Damn, this guy's shirt is sweating. Look, man, I know how you feel, I said, tapping Hachiman's shoulder as I led him away from the muscle head. Sorry about that, Chris. I didn't mean. Nah, it's nothing to me. I understand that feeling. You know what? I have a sister now. What's her name, Haki? My sister? Komaki. She's a sophomore at Shuchiin Middle School. He paused. Man, look, even though you're my brother, I won't give you Komaki. Fuck. I didn't hit on your sister. Well, maybe our sisters could be friends since Kei is also a sophomore at that school. Wait, that means they're both his juniors, right? Hachiman looked at Yuchi, who just minded his own business. That's why, Nolan. You clearly don't understand our situation, man. We're as good as weaklings. Why are you in such a rush, man? He asked as I paused, then whispered, you want to protect your sister, right? Hachiman didn't answer, but his silence spoke volumes. Good. But look at you now. I know you might think you're a protagonist, but in this world, you're just a nobody. So how are you going to protect your sister? As I whispered, I could tell he was nervous. Let's say this. What if she gets attacked by a hunter, an E-rank at that? Or there's a dungeon break near her? What would you do in that situation? Remember what will happen to Japan soon. Giants from an S-rank gate almost wiped out Japan, Hachiman said, visibly shaken. Internally, I grinned. If we don't start now, then when? Do you think the system will give us power by dating girls? No. We have to enter that place and kill the fucking monsters. The system doesn't care about us. Thus, we have to make a decision. Either fight or die pathetically. Hachiman then sighed, and I could see in his eyes that he had made his decision. Alright, let's do this. Well, it doesn't hurt since I could get girlfriends if I become strong anyway. I smiled and nodded at him. As long as he has motivation, that's enough for me. Such a fucking simp. You got a problem. I do. I don't recognize this desperate simp at all. Are you really my brother? You little. Okay, hold on. I intervened before things got out of hand. We're not talking about chicks, man. Then what? Don't tell me, Chris. You too. Sigh, they're talking about the bitches. Suddenly, a lazy tone backed me up. Yoshiteru hummed for a while with what Yuchi had just said. Ha 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 ha. Yoshiteru then shook Yuchi's hand. Finally, someone speaks my language. With just a simple line, Yuchi managed to convince Yoshiteru and end the unnecessary talk. As expected from the lazy ones, they always come up with efficient things. Such a hypocritical guy, Hachiman muttered. I smiled, satisfied that I had convinced them to get stronger. Alright, let's take care of each other and climb to the top of the world together. Kikiko? Quest available. Tutorial floor has been created. To fully activate your status window, players need a specific class that reflects their combat abilities and future stat growth. A special quest has been designed to identify each player's class based on their fighting style. Warning: no items are allowed to enter the tutorial floor for accurate class analysis. Will players accept the quest? Well, boys, looks like we have a job to do, I said as everyone nodded at me, some with big grins, some stoic, some nervous. Nevertheless, we were ready to go. Alright, we're in. Confirmed. Portal preparation initiated. Suddenly, a blue circle slowly appeared in front of us, crackling as it stopped growing. Portal complete. Time settings inside the floor synchronized with real-world time. All players can safely enter the portal. I thought a huge tower would rise from the ground. Yoshiteru had a point, but who cared about the detail? Alright, boys. Let's go. Dash. Suddenly, they arrive at a place they are unfamiliar with. Boys, analysis. Miyuki looks around as the boys seem clueless. The city is surrounded by towering walls. Narrow, dirt streets are lined with timber houses. With a castle on a hill watching over the city, the sounds of blacksmiths, horse hooves, and people talking fill the air. Looks like a medieval city to me, Haki said as he looked up. But guys, does this site remind you of something? Those walls are fucking enormous. My neck hurts. Agreed, Haki said to Yoshiteru. Don't you guys think it's impossible to build these walls? Must have taken a lot of slaves, Miyuki said. Bang! A blinding light came from behind the wall, shaking the ground. The boys narrowed their eyes, looking like they'd just woken up from a long nap and were trying to remember what time is it. The townspeople stopped as they watched the smoke rising from behind the wall. I don't like where this is going, Yu said, his lazy eyes wide open. Crash! Soon after, they saw a big hand grasping the top of the wall, casting a large silhouette upon them. That's a titan. Impossible. That wall is over 50 meters. The boys heard people start screaming in fear. Boys, take cover. Miyuki shouted as a loud crack followed. The boys started to run, watching debris from the wall fly into the sky. Bang! Bang! Chapter 4. Miyuki and the others hid behind a building. Yu peeked around, watching people start to run, then glanced above to see titans emerging from the big hole. My house is there, Mom. Aaron. Yu's attention snapped as he heard it. He saw two kids running past him. He followed where they were going, then glanced back. That titan is gone. We should start to run. Titans are coming this way. Alright. Let's kill titans, boys. Yoshiteru exclaimed. They ignored him as the blue screen started to pop up. Tutorial floor is starting. Marley's warriors are attacking Paradise Island. The colossal titan is destroying the wall of Maria, allowing titans from outside the wall to enter Shiganshina district. Objective: survive and rescue. Find Carla Yeager, who is currently trapped under the wreckage, and bring her to safety before the titans do. Time limit: 1 hour. Attention. Players might die inside the tutorial floor. You might start considering your skills and teamwork. Good luck. 1 hour. 59 minutes and 59 seconds. The fuck? You're fucking too late. We don't even have basic weapons? I'm basically the same as before. Hachiman said furiously. Be quiet, they will find us here. Hachiman shut his mouth. Alright, we need to find her. ASAP. The problem is, we don't know where she is. Chris, I've seen them. Miyuki glanced at you with surprise. You mean? Yes. 2 kids, a boy and a girl with a red scarf, ran somewhere. There's no doubt about it. Hearing that, Yoshiteru nodded proudly. Come on, lead the way. There was no need to verify if he was lying. They knew that this dude rarely joked about something. Running through the chaos, the boys focused solely on their quest. Yu squinted his eyes. Initially unsure of their destination, this place was essentially a maze, but he tried to guess their path. Yuchi, are we going the right way? Miyuki asked. At Miyuki's question, he felt certain they were on the correct path. Yes, I'm sure of it. Yu looked down a bit. The road was muddy, basically just dirt with no pavement. He could see 2 sets of footprints that were very consistent. In this chaos, no one would head this way since they were going in the opposite direction to evacuate. They were headed towards the part of the wall breached by the colossal titan. After assessing it, Yu was sure he was leading the boys the right way. Passive skill, tracking has been awakened. You'll be able to track and analyze your surroundings better. Suddenly, a message popped up in front of Yu. A skill. Yu widened his eyes. What just happened? What's wrong? No, nothing. We're here. There was no time to verify it as they arrived. Good job, Yuchi. I didn't know you were good at this, Miyuki said, impressed. Yu began to recall that he had never been good at this sort of thing before, but they had found the house thanks to him. 56 minutes and 16 seconds. A large boulder had crushed the house. They saw 2 kids trying to lift the house's ruins. They arrived and saw a woman trapped in the rubble. She smiled helplessly when she looked at these teens. Please get these kids out of here. The TI Titans are coming. Hurry, please. I'm not leaving you, Mom. Just this once, listen to me, Aaron. Take Mikasa with you, hurry. However, the boys didn't listen to her as they put their hands on the timber of the house. Lift it, boys. Their expressions started to change as they felt the weight of the timber. But then, even though they put all their strength into it, the timber only lifted a bit. Damn, it's too heavy. Shut up. That smiling titan is coming. Hurry up. Boys, keep grinding. When they heard Miyuki's words, they could feel the ground trembling. A big shadow cast itself over the street beside them, igniting their survival instincts even more. X4. They shouted, veins bulging as they pushed with their untrained hands. Carla Jaeger could feel the timber slowly lifting. She knew she didn't weigh down the timber anymore. Despite the pain she felt, she started crawling out of the ruined house with her last will to survive with her children. Mikasa, help me with my mom. Eren shouted. The boys watched as the woman left the ruins and released the timber. Boom! Their breath was out of control, and Hachiman's ass rushed to the ground. He looks at his hands and trembles. However, this does not mean there is no danger. Fuck. Miyuki cursed as the system started to pop up. Player Hakigaya Hachiman in state of fear, all stats will decrease by 30%. Miyuki looked at Hachiman. AAA, I'm gonna die, why am I even here in the first PLA? Miyuki walked over to Hachiman, grabbed his shirt, and punched his cheek. Nolan, get your shit together. There's no point in regretting now. Are you crazy? Why are we here in this chaos without even basic weapons? We're a suicide squad. The system is fooling us, geek. I'm sorry, Komaki. Stop being a crybaby and start giving her first aid. Miyuki punched him again. Keep fighting or you'll die for real. Hachiman felt the pain on his face somehow calming his mind. He knew this was nothing compared to fighting the Dragon Monarch. At this point, if he didn't use his head, he wouldn't be able to live the family life he always wanted. But why was it so hard to move after seeing this horror? Challenges keep coming at me. Yoshiteru grinned at the smiling titan. Has my heart ever beat this fast before? I can't recall. But I'll never back down. With that fat belly, would he stop? Yay, I'd win. Let's see if you'll keep that smile, you fucking titan. He glanced back. Wait here, I'll distract the titan. Yoshiteru ran with all his might as the boys watched in disbelief. Stop, damn it. Nico, let's stop Rudy. What? Miyuki glanced around for you. He was nowhere to be found. Miyuki smiled, veins pulsing on his face. Hachiman froze in fear, Rudy charging at the titan like a lunatic. Where the hell was Nico? Here, you piece of shit. The titan glanced at Yoshiteru. He smiled as the titan looked his way. He could become their shield. He would protect them no matter what. The hell? Yoshiteru stopped running as the titan showed no interest, continuing to walk toward them. Shit, the titan is only interested in us? That must be an abnormal titan. Hachiman paled as he watched the smiling titan ignore Yoshiteru. Even though the titan was slow, it was still terrifying. Amidst all this, Yoshiteru's heart burned with rage. In his past life, he and the others were always involved in fights. He always enjoyed it and won. But now, his enemies weren't even interested in him. This humiliation? I won't let this slide. Stop there, you fucking asshole, and fight me. Yoshiteru screamed. Active skill, decoy has been awakened. The enemies will solely be attracted to you and prevented from targeting your allies for 10 minutes. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Yes, that's right. Your opponent is me. Yoshiteru grinned as the smiling titan stopped and glanced back. To keep the titan away from them, Yoshiteru had to start running. I can do this, come on. That shout gave him more motivation. He needed that. The titan was closing in on him from behind. Yoshiteru could feel that it might catch up to him. However, he pushed himself to run even faster. Active skill, sprint has been awakened. You'll be 30% faster for 1 minute. You'll be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. He grinned, let's go. What is happening? Miyuki wondered. He looked at the titan as it started to turn back and pursue Yoshiteru. Wasn't that titan abnormal or something? How could that fatso run so fast? Carla screamed as she saw blood rushing from her left foot. Her left foot was gone, likely crushed by the rock that had collapsed her house. Help! Please help my mother. Eren rushed forward, shouting, Big brother, help! Help my mother. He grabbed Miyuki's shirt. Miyuki gritted his teeth. All right, Carla. Suddenly, a man descended from above. The sound of wires screeching could be heard. Miyuki's eyes lit up as if saying bingo. That guy must be a soldier. Hands. Eren shout. Hands, a well-built man with short blonde hair and a thin dark mustache, arrived and touched the ground. Eren? Damn it, we need to stop the bleeding and go. I'll do it. I'll do it. Miyuki widened his eyes as Hachiman regained his composure. He had once been a volunteer and knew how to aid someone who had lost a leg. Hachiman thinks, at this point, if he became useless, he wouldn't survive. Oi, be careful, kid. We have to leave her to Dr. Jaeger. Hans was about to move, but Miyuki stopped him. At this rate, she'll die from blood loss. Leave her to him. Geek. Hans gritted his teeth. Miyuki was glad Hachiman had overcome his fear. He knew Hachiman would do his job better than him. Then Miyuki glanced down. Gimme that sword. What the hell? Miyuki clicked his tongue. There was no time to argue. He snatched it forcefully and grabbed the ODM control handle, pulling the cable hard. Oi, what the hell are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? You're damaging my ODM gear. Hans screamed. Miyuki had just ruined the right side of the controller grip. The controller grip was crucial for controlling the omnidirectional mobility and attaching the blade. If it was destroyed, Hans couldn't use the ODM gear properly. Cut the bullshit. I bet you won't use it to kill the Titan either. Hans glanced and then paled. The smiling Titan was currently chasing someone. Miyuki ignored him as he connected the ODM controller grip to the blade. Shing, Haki, I'll leave her to you. He then rushed towards the smiling Titan. Come on, come on, come on. I can do this. From his memories, Chris knew Miyuki always rode his bicycle or walked anywhere. He could feel that Miyuki had good stamina. ODM sword has been obtained. Rarity, E. The blade of the sword is made from ultra-hard steel, which is both supple and strong, capable of rending Titan flesh. Miyuki could see Rudy up ahead. In his right hand, he gripped the sword he had just acquired. Miyuki knew he couldn't use ODM gear and had never wielded a sword before, but this sword would have to do. His eyes locked onto the Titan as it squatted, its large hand reaching for Rudy. Rudy's eyes lit up with confidence. Grab, Kuek, let go, you shithead. Rudy shouted, struggling to escape the Titan's grasp. Slash. Miyuki swung the sword at the Titan's fingers, cutting them off. What? Miyuki didn't understand how he managed to do that. Hadn't he gained any superpowers yet? He remembered that this tutorial was a quest to earn a class. Currently, the status window wasn't fully active because the system required him to acquire a class first. Once they completed it, the system would assess their battle performance, right? Passive skill, swordsmanship has been awakened. This skill applies only to swords. You will be able to use swords better. The system popped up in front of Miyuki. A skill. Miyuki mumbled then looked up. The smiling Titan turned its attention towards Miyuki. Hell yeah. Yoshitaro cheered as he saw Miyuki slash down the Titan's finger. Let's go, bro. Bang. The Titan quickly used its other hand to send Rudy flying. Keek. Cough. Cough. Rudy's back slammed into a building wall. At the same time, its remaining hand searched for Miyuki, but the Titan couldn't find him. Take this. Miyuki swung the sword hard, aiming for the Titan's left leg. Slash. He managed to sever the muscle, causing the Titan to lose balance. Miyuki didn't stop there. He swung the sword in his right hand and slashed the Titan's other leg. Slash. Shaking, the Titan lost even more balance. Bang. With a loud bang, its upper body crashed into the building. Huffed. Huffed. Miyuki looked at it, panting hard, then snapped back to reality. Rudy. He rushed over. Yoshitaro was leaning against the wall, blood coming from his mouth, eyes rolled up. Miyuki checked his pulse and found that Yoshitaro was still breathing. Sigh. Miyuki looked at him again. Wakey wakey. Wakey wakey. After slapping Yoshitaro's face several times, he began to regain consciousness. Fuck, TCH, my back hurts. Despite his complaints, Miyuki could see that Yoshitaro seemed okay after being knocked into the wall by the Titan. Any injuries? Miyuki asked. Yoshitaro hummed as he moved his hands. I'm fine, shit. Nah, my HP dropped to 85. At his response, Miyuki could only think that this was the system's doing. It seemed the system hadn't thrown them into this without any means. Huff, huff, alright. This is a tutorial, right huh? Status. Identity. Name, Shirogane Miyuki. Age, 15. Race, human. Class, none. Level, 1. HP, 100/100. MP, fatigue, 47. Stats, strength, health, agility, sense, intelligence. Passive skills. Swordsmanship, LV.1. Active skills, none. He had just awakened a passive skill, swordsmanship. He admitted he had never swung a sword before, but after gaining this skill, he didn't become a pro. Somehow, he could perform basic swordsmanship, but it was just the basics. In this case, the newly gained ODM sword had already proven invaluable, allowing Miyuki to sever the smiling Titan's fingers and save Rudy. Miyuki glanced at the ODM sword in his right hand, gripping the handle tightly. To suddenly gain a skill like this felt almost like a game. Roar. A roar echoed from behind him. Shit. Glancing back, Miyuki realized he had only severed the Titan's leg muscles, not killed it. He had let his guard down, too focused on his stats window. Chris, get away. Miyuki and Yoshitaro jumped to opposite sides, but the smiling Titan was already too close. It leaped straight towards them, its wide grin opening menacingly. Slash. What? They watched as blood sprayed from behind the Titan's head, a blurry figure spinning at high speed. Boom. Miyuki and Yoshitaro managed to dodge in time. The Titan's face scraped against the ground, its head crashing into a building. They looked at the Titan, blood gushing from its nape as it ceased moving altogether. Sorry I'm late. The sound of wires screeching filled the air. Miyuki and Yoshitaro looked up to see a guy with black hair descending, two bloody swords in hand. My man, Nico. Yoshitaro grinned broadly. Dude, you saved us. You were lightning fast back there? Ha 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 ha. Miyuki gave you a helpless smile. So that's where he had disappeared to all of a sudden. Yeah, somehow, I managed to adapt very quickly. It must be the system's doing. Yu was clad in ODM gear and had swiftly dispatched the smiling Titan. Miyuki couldn't fathom how Yu had learned to use it so rapidly. But when Yu believed he could do it, he awakened a skill. Player Ishigami Yu has slain the enemy. A message announcing Yu's killing of the Titan appeared in front of them. Shortly after, Yu's personal system window showed something else. Active skill, critical strike has been awakened. Daggers only. Your attacks have become more efficient. You will be able to deal damage to enemies' vital areas. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Huff, huff, another skill. Yu muttered at the message. I thought I was going to die. Thanks, man, Miyuki said with a chuckle. Ha ha ha, that was awesome. Clap, 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 Yoshiteru exclaimed as the boys celebrated with claps and high fives. Meanwhile, Hans couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. What are they? As a soldier, he had never killed a titan before. Yet, these three youngsters had managed to do it. The stretchers are ready. Old man, please lend me your cloak, I'll make a bed out of it. Hans turned to Hachiman who had just finished his task. The other boy with glasses hadn't joined in killing the titan, but he had managed to provide Carla with first aid amidst the chaos. He knew it would be difficult to carry Carla with her injury. With a little help from Eren and Mikasa, he had fashioned an emergency stretcher from the house's ruined wood and limited equipment. As these young ones did their best, why was he freezing like an idiot? Chapter 5. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The ground trembled. Ishigami Yu looked down as he squatted beside the chimney on the roof of a fifth-floor house. 16 titans on every road. There's no way out, he muttered, checking his surroundings cautiously to avoid being caught by the titans. The reason was simple. Never expected to learn a new skill again. Active skill, stealth has been awakened. Your presence has significantly dropped. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Yu looked at his reflection in the blade on his left hand. He could see his face clearly. The skill seems just to make his presence lower. He thought, maybe, he awakened this skill after sneaking out from Miyuki. He then stealthily made his way to where he had heard a soldier's scream. There, he retrieved his ODM gear and managed to slash the nape of the smiling titan. Identity. Name, Ishigami Yu. Age, 14. Race, human. Class, none. Level, 1. HP, 100/100. MP, fatigue, 55. Stats, strength, health, agility, sense, intelligence. Passive skills. Tracking, LV.1. Calisthenics, LV.1. Dagger art, LV.1. Active skills. Critical strike, LV.1. Stealth, LV.1. So far, he has managed to learn 5 skills on this tutorial floor. He acquired the passive skill calisthenics after several attempts to adapt to using the ODM gear. As a result, he felt his body change slightly, but also noticed he was using too much stamina moving in 3 dimensions while wielding 2 blades to kill the titans. Fatigue, 56. His body felt numb and tired. While the system granted him skills, he understood he wasn't yet that strong. After all, he had never trained in this new body. As for dagger art, it was likely because he had cut his 2 blades in half, making them shorter and lighter. They were more like daggers now than swords. For now, after checking his surroundings and understanding the map with the help of passive skill tracking, he decided he should return inside. After Miyuki, Yu, and Yoshiteru manage to kill the titan, they decide to bring Carla after Hachiman finishes giving her first aid for her injured foot. However, titans blocked every route leading to the only gate connecting Shiganshina district with the Wall of Maria. Knowing their limits and the mission objective, to survive and rescue Carla Jaeger. Right now, they had to hide in the abandoned buildings to evade the titans. In the dark silence of the abandoned building, Hachiman spoke up, looking at Carla. Chris, we can't wait any longer. Miyuki looks at her as he thinks the same way. But how? I'm back, Yu announced as he walked down the stairs after assessing their situation. How is it? Miyuki asked as they gathered around a circle of wooden boxes. Yu sat on an empty box and shook his head. It's bad. This area is completely surrounded. If we step out of this building now. Miyuki clicked his tongue, remembering the skills they had discussed earlier. It seemed Yoshiteru's decoy skill not only lured the smiling titan but also attracted others, complicating their situation. Miyuki looked at the boys. Tell me how bad your fatigue is. Mine is 48, Yoshiteru replied. 15, Hachiman said, showing better stamina. Yu sighed. 57. Miyuki nodded, assessing the situation grimly. Yu's been working the hardest. I'm at 49. I think we could take down 2 titans at most. Any more than that, it's death. We could wait until they leave, but she might not make it. She could die at any moment. Eren and Mikasa paled at the dire situation. We don't have much time either, Miyuki added, glancing at the system's timer. 39 minutes and 48 seconds. After all they had been through, they had wasted 20 minutes. The boys even used almost half of their stamina. What could they do? Eren was with them, but he didn't possess that power yet. That girl Mikasa was still inexperienced. The soldier, Hans, relied on them too much. Carla fainted and her condition was worsening. Unless they took extreme measures. No. Miyuki looked down, murmuring slowly, there's nothing we can do. Even in his whispered voice, everyone heard him clearly in the heavy silence. Everyone understood. This is my fault. If I hadn't been afraid earlier, maybe I could have gained a skill. Hachiman blamed himself, feeling responsible for their predicament. The fault is mine. I shouldn't have convinced all of you in the first place. Miyuki admitted, understood the gravity of their situation. Even with the skills the system gave us, we're not ready for this. Chris was a realist. He knew it had taken everything just to fight that Titan before. Even with the skills they had received from the system, they were still unprepared for this. He once planned to join a political party while getting rich. He starts to think, so this is how it feels when you send your army to war with patriotic speeches, and later feel bad for those underpaid soldiers who die because of your ambition. This is not a game, nor a dream, but reality. Chris regrets bringing the boys here in the first place after how disappointed he was. Chris misses his past life. Losing it made him angry. Before that, he was a man with nothing to lose. But now, he might see his brothers devoured by Titans because of him. Player Shirogain Miyuki in a state of doubt. All stats will decrease by 10%. It's not the windows that pop out privately, like announcing a new skill, but the message that his party could see, much like when Hachiman felt fear. Brother. Miyuki snapped back as Yoshitaro tapped his shoulder. We're waiting for your plan. Yoshitaro said, his expression without a doubt. Miyuki chuckled. We could die here, you know. Whatever happens, we're prepared. Rudy isn't sympathetic towards Chris. It's the trust he gave long ago. He knows his brain isn't that smart, but he has brothers. Miyuki looked at him again, then to the others. They had the same expression. There was no doubt in their eyes. Miyuki chuckled once again. That's right, when he was broke. Before he had a lot of money, he had his brothers. All right then. You're right. This is not the time for regret. Just like old times. Let's kick their ass, boys. Dash. Yoshitaro likes to fight. In his past life, Rudy seemed like a bully, but he never liked bullies. It was just that people around him sought fights, so he had to lay his hands on them. When he stopped every bully, eventually everyone saw him as a bully too. People branded him a bad guy, but that was okay. If they saw him as the strong, 10 ABS bad dude, he would become a magnet for the real bad guys. He wasn't a hero, but at least he would set things right around him. He would endure everything, even if his body crumbled. He would take it all until his body gave up on its own. But he believed in one thing. Huffed, huffed, huffed. His breath was poor. Despite his body being fat, he kept running with the mentality he had built over the years. Never give up. Rah. Active skill, decoy has been activated. Enemies will solely target you and be prevented from targeting your allies for 10 minutes. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. In the minds of the Titans, they felt something pulling them. It was then that all of them started looking for Yoshitaro. Stomp, stomp, stomp. There you go. Yoshitaro kept running as he heard a loud noise behind him. Glancing back briefly, he saw many Titans jostling as they rushed after him. However, Yoshitaro was lacking speed at this point. Some Titans from the back were running faster and closing in on him. As one of the Titans ran, its body size about 7 meters, its hand reached out towards Yoshitaro. But he wasn't alone. Miyuki was behind him, swinging the sword in his right hand as he saw it coming. Slash! He cut the Titan's left foot. With that simple move and at this speed, he was able to make the Titan lose its balance and eventually fall. Bang! Bang! Crush! 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 The ground trembled. Miyuki looked behind him. The Titan that had lost its left foot had fallen and tripped 2 other Titans. Soon, 3 Titans were ignored as they were trampled to death by the others. Player Shirogain Miyuki has slain the enemy. Player Shirogain Miyuki has slain the enemy. Player Shirogain Miyuki has slain the enemy. Shit, this is hell. Miyuki's job was solely to prevent Titans from getting to Yoshitaro's back. His intention was never to kill them, but to make the faster Titans stop running. Miyuki had never imagined he would be able to kill one of them, let alone 3 with a single slash. I used the Titans to kill Titans. Sounds more like it. He grins. After seeing this, Miyuki glanced back to the front. Just as planned. Keep going, Yoshi. All right. Leave it to me. Yoshitaro's response was fired up. Currently, Miyuki and Yu were running on Yoshitaro's back, maintaining a similar pace to him. The Titans only see Yoshitaro as their target, Yu said, running not far from Miyuki. Yeah, I noticed that too. Miyuki nodded as he panted. After a brief observation, they both noticed that the decoy skill not only made the Titans hunt Yoshitaro but also made all the Titans lose focus on anyone else. At this point, the Titans didn't seem to notice Miyuki or Yu. Just like before, Miyuki realized he could get close to the Titan and slash its feet without any problems. If they caught the only human decoy they had, Yoshitaro, it's the end game. Yuchi, you're up. They squinted their eyes. The Titans weren't just coming from the back. Thanks to the buildings lining up on both sides, they were protected from Titans that might come from the left or right. They spotted 2 Titans running towards them like models from the front. Flick. Yu aimed and fired the grapple hooks at the building, activating the gas mechanism to reel himself toward the Titans. Thanks to Yoshitaro's decoy skill, he easily passed the 2 Titans stealthily as he swung his double daggers. Slash. Slash. Player Ishigami Yu has slain the enemy. Player Ishigami Yu has slain the enemy. Yu cut the napes of the Titans as they fell. Active skill, critical strike has been activated. Daggers only. Your attacks have become more efficient. You will be able to deal damage to enemies' vital areas. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. What is this? His hands and body both felt numb. Fatigue, 65. As expected, using ODM gear to kill Titans made his fatigue increase faster. He checked the gas tank that had belonged to hands before. I'm still using too much gas. The first 2 gas tanks were empty after he used them to attempt a quick learning and managed to slice the smiling titan's nape. But now, he had managed to adapt to using the gear more efficiently than before. However, he still made unnecessary moves that caused him to lose too much gas. You landed on the roof with rough breathing. They keep coming back here again. Thump, thump, thump. The ground shook again. 3 titans were headed their way. The decoy skill had a flaw that caused all the enemies to come together. At this rate, he hoped his inner lazy soul would last until the end. He glanced a bit farther and could see the southern town square, their destination. 1, 2, 3, slash, slash, slash. Unlike you, Miyuki continued using the same bowling strategy to slow down the titans. Some died, and some crawled on the ground. Miyuki managed to cut 3 titans' feet. They fell and were trampled by the running titans. Player Shirogane Miyuki has slain the enemy. Player Shirogane Miyuki has slain the enemy. These bastards keep catching up? I've been sick of this long 10 minutes. Miyuki glared as he turned ahead again. Fatigue, 62. 29 minutes and 48 seconds. His stamina was about to reach red limits and so, the first step to end this plan. He then saw the southern town square ahead. 1 minute left. Yoshi, I'll slow down as many titans as I can. When your decoy skills time is up, use it again. Run, when you're about to reach the town square. Yoshitaro nodded without glancing back. See you at the checkpoint, brother. Miyuki slowed down a bit as he ran on the sideline. He waited until he was running beside the titan's feet, then slashed again and again. At this point, the titans were still chasing after Yoshitaro, but Miyuki managed to create a safe distance between him and the titans. Next one, the northern town square. Then he turned to take the alley for a shortcut. As he checked the time, the titans could be seen at the back chasing Yoshitaro. 28 minutes and 53 seconds. Alright, let's keep going for another round. Yoshitaro screamed as he activated his skill. Active skill, decoy has been activated. The enemies will solely be attracted to you and prevented from targeting your allies for 10 minutes. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. At this moment, Yoshitaro checked his skill set. His skills weren't designed to damage titans, but at least he could help Chris and Nico by diverting the titans' attention. As planned by Chris earlier, they would protect Yoshitaro from the back and front. When the 3 of them reached the southern town square, Chris and Nico would try to slow down as many titans as possible, then use a shortcut to reach the main road. Meanwhile, Yoshitaro's main job was to lead as many titans as he could to the southern town square. Huffed, huffed, huffed. Yoshitaro's breathing was fast, even his body was now fat but his mindset sharp as before. The titans were still chasing him from behind but at a slight distance, and thanks to you, there were no titans from the front as he saw their bodies lying on the ground. If he gave up now, he would waste the boys' hard work. The town square. He arrived at the vast area in the southern town square, close to the hole recently destroyed by the colossal titan. Haha, alright. He smirked as he saw many titans start walking towards him as soon as they spotted him. Screek! He scrubbed the ground as he arrived at the middle of the town square. This is outside the plan, but I'll do it anyway. Yoshitaro crouched down and knelt with one knee, then placed his hands on the ground. Titans were approaching from every side of the town square. He waited, feeling the ground shake and tremble. The man who thrived in every dangerous situation, Yoshitaro never thought he would find himself preparing like Usain Bolt with titans chasing and jumping after him. Yoshitaro grinned as he looked sharply ahead into the distance. Suddenly, shadows loomed above him as titans desperately jumped over his head. But then, whoosh! Active skill, sprint has been activated. You'll be 30% faster for 1 minute. You'll be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Gotcha? Hwahahaha. Yoshitaro dashed away, a wide grin on his face. Ha 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 ha. How does it feel, you shitheads? You're grabbing dirt instead of me. It was very satisfying. The titans piled up like idiots as he ran away from them. 27 minutes and 29 seconds. The skill quickly ran out after a minute. Fatigue, 41-fatigue, 73. So, his stamina took a hit even though he had only used the skill twice. Yoshitaro saw 2 guys running ahead and, with his speed, was able to catch up to Miyuki and you who had used a shortcut. Chris, what the fuck with your face? You look so tense. Scared of titans. Yoshitaro mocked with a mocking smile. You're talking shit while running like a scared chicken with that skill. Miyuki grinned back at Yoshitaro. Kahahaha, no way I'm scared of those motherfuckers. Save your breath. Huff, huff, damn it. You panted, annoyed by Yoshitaro's energy. Shut the hell up, you lazy shit. Yoshitaro countered. Despite their harsh words, the boys didn't take offense to each other. What mattered now was the plan and their lives. Boys, heads up. We only have around 10 minutes to get there. Probably. Miyuki said as they glanced at the far northern town square. The ground trembled once again. Those fuckers are catching up. Yoshitaro and the others glanced back. A horde of titans was chasing after them, their numbers multiplying. Faster, boys, faster. With their last reserves of stamina, the 3 of them ran for their lives. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. A few minutes before that. As the boys were running for their lives, Hachiman carried Carla, who had lost a leg, on an emergency stretcher he made. Hans was in front, and 2 kids, younger than him, were beside their mother. His surroundings were horrible, it felt like he wouldn't enjoy his meal later. But that wasn't what made him anxious. Chris was right. Hachiman didn't encounter any titans as he brought Carla to the gate of Wall Maria. But the cost was. Sorry, boys, he mumbled slowly, his face petrified. But Eren and Mikasa heard it and felt guilty. Later, they arrived at the gate. Hachiman looked up at the gate, seeing a woman-like logo indicating the Wall of Maria. Where are the titans? I don't know. They just started running away somewhere. TCH? What the hell is happening? Many people were crossing the gate, and magically, no titans were trying to eat them. They heard many murmurs about the titans' weird behavior. More importantly, Hans, Eren, and Mikasa felt even more guilty. Eventually, they passed through the gate. Eren, bring your mother safely to the boat. I'll go back to the wall, Hans said as Eren nodded. All right, Mikasa, move away. I'll carry the stretcher. No, I'll do it. Hachiman ignored the two as he looked at Hans. What if the boat refuses us? He didn't like this man, but he hated himself even more. Don't worry, they will recognize the kids and Carla. Hans couldn't face Hachiman's eyes, guilt washing over him. Dr. Jaeger once saved Shiganshina from a plague. My comrades will let them on the boat no matter what. Hachiman nodded. Hans didn't waste time and ran to join his comrades. Let's go, you two. Both Eren and Mikasa nodded as they headed to the boat. Hachiman recalled when Miyuki told them his plan in that abandoned building. With my tracking skills, I managed to map this entire place. I'll explain it first. You said as he finished drawing the map and then briefly explained it to the boys. Old man, can you verify this map? Miyuki asked. Hans looked at it and nodded. I've lived in Shiganshina for more than 30 years, this map is accurate. Miyuki hummed. All right. Yuichi said that we're here. He pointed at the map. West part of Shiganshina. We're stopping here. If we force ourselves and run to the Gate of Maria, we'll mostly get eaten by titans. Before that, they had already shared their skills. The simple reason they had to hide was because the other titans crowded this place due to Yoshiteru's decoy skill. My plan is simple, with Yoshiteru here, we can attract all the titans again somewhere here, the southern town square, within 10 minutes. With the time we gain, Haki, I want you to bring this woman inside Wall Maria. Wait, that's suicide, Hachiman said. Yeah, anyway, no one in this place I can trust besides you, who knows how to treat sick patients. We'll adapt to that. Miyuki glanced back at the map. We'll go straight. This road here has only a straight line with no intersections. I think that will give us an advantage. You hummed. I see. By using the buildings on each side, we can prevent ambushes from titans. We only have to watch out for titans from the back and front. Miyuki nodded. Only you and I can protect Rudy and deal damage to the titans right now, but don't overestimate our abilities. Just defeating that titan alone made my hands go numb. So, save as much stamina as we can. Don't force yourself to kill titans, our main objective is to slow them down and keep running. Miyuki glanced at Yoshiteru. Rudy, you have to make sure the titans follow you. He nodded. Got it. I'll activate my skill again and again. Hachiman thought this was undoubtedly a suicide mission. But he couldn't argue or join them, after all, he was the last one who hadn't awakened his skill. Please let me join, a voice said. Me too? I'll kill the titans too. No, don't get involved Eren. The boys glanced at Hans and ignored the kid. Name? Miyuki asked. Hans Fischer, Vice Captain of the Garrison Regiment, Shiganshina Division, sir. Hans didn't know why he was speaking formally to these boys, especially the blonde ones, but judging by their clothes, they must come from a noble house. However, the boy with blonde hair and blue eyes seemed to have a crazy plan. Why would they sacrifice themselves to become a decoy? He knew this crazy mentality only belonged to the Survey Corps. Miyuki crossed his arms. No, I refuse. You will get in our way. Hans widened his eyes as Miyuki, you, and Yoshiteru looked at him, clearly not expecting much from him. Before that, you said you're vice captain, huh? How much influence do you have among the soldiers? Miyuki asked. Yes, sir. I can command several troops, but I doubt it would help in a situation like this. Miyuki began to think. It would be useless to bring all the soldiers to fight the titans head-on. These guys might be useless, but he had to find a way to make them useful. He looked at the map again and asked. How much heavy artillery do you have now? 36 cannons, sir. We have 26 wall-mounted stationed on top of the gate of Wall Maria and 10 on the ground. Hearing this, he saw a glimmer of hope. But then he considered that the cannons were likely from the 19th century at best. Miyuki looked closely at the map. He didn't want to die, so he'd use everything at his disposal. But how? If he brought the titans to the gate of Wall Maria, they all might die there, which went against their current objective. Then he smiled. Well, our plan isn't entirely suicidal. Anyway, from here to here. Miyuki pointed the pen at the southern town square, then slid it straight to the northern town square. A perfectly straight road leads us to the open space of the northern square. Right here, we might be able to kill the titans in one shot. You thought about Miyuki's plan. Leading the titans to the northern square would probably take more than 10 minutes, then going back again to the north. Then it's around 20 minutes round trip, he said. Exactly, Miyuki chuckled. Let's hope we don't die first. Hans widened his eyes. You plan to bring the titans here? Miyuki nodded again. Correct. Are you telling me it's impossible for the cannon's range? No, it's possible. Then hear me out. With the time we give you, I want you to prepare the cannons at the top of the wall, aiming them at the northern square. At the same time, relocate all the ground cannons. Miyuki gestured around the western side of the town square, here, to the flank of the town square. Why should we move the cannons and not place them at the farthest place? Won't they get eaten by the titans? Nah, trust me. I promise no one's gonna get eaten in those 20 minutes. I positioned those 10 cannons there so that when the 26 cannons need to reload, these 10 can cover and wipe out any titans left over. Even if we run out of ammo, we can take down the remaining titans when they're at their weakest after getting hit by the cannons. But will the plan work? That part, we'll show you. What matters is that Haki will have enough time to bring them to a safe place, and you have to prepare all the cannons and shoot when we bring the titans to the northern square. 20 minutes is enough time. Hans gulped. It is such an optimistic plan. He thought they died after becoming bait. After that, the plan proceeded perfectly so far. Right now, Hachiman could bring Carla to the boat that would send her and the kids to the Trost district. Meanwhile, Hans became busy with less than 20 minutes they gave him. Somehow, the captain of his unit died, so he managed to lead the soldiers and follow Miyuki's plan. 26 cannons on the top and 10 below. He instructed his unit to move all the cannons in their position and aim them at the northern square. Mr. Hans, what is exactly happening now? Hans shook his head. I have no idea what is going on. Will your plan work? This is not my plan. Hans looked above the wall and, after some time, saw dust flying in the distance. He gulped in terror, seeing a horde of titans chasing after 3 people. He pointed at them. It's his plan. The soldiers around him saw the blonde teen between the black-haired and gray-haired ones. They thought, Hans wasn't joking, right? The titans are coming. Prepare all the artillery and wait for my signal. Since he could see it from this height, he wondered how they managed to pull that off. 16 minutes and 55 seconds. Boys, we're almost there, keep it up. Rah. Their bodies shook with fatigue after running for about 20 minutes. But the northern square was ahead. Stomp, 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 on my signal. Hans gulped as he saw the boys arrive at the northern square. The boys kept running as if their lives depended on it. Miyuki glanced to his left, seeing the reflection of steel, 10 cannons lined up as he the paled face from the soldiers. However, the titans remained focused on Yoshitaro because of his skill. But, everything was according to the plan. Miyuki glanced up to where Hans should be and took a deep breath. Hans? Fiery, he screamed as his voice echoed. Hans grits his teeth. Fiery. Boom, 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 boom. The soldiers on top of the wall fired the cannons together. Balls of light flew into the air, then raining the titans at once. The rain comes to an end, but the attack was not end there. Cannons on the ground. Fiery. Hans's scream echoes. Boom, 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 boom. At the flank of northern square, 10 cannons fired at the same time and managed to kill the remaining. Boys, there are still survivors out there. But now, we can take them down while they're at their weakest. Dash. Sitting on top of the titans' bodies they just killed in the northern town square, they were breathing heavily. Huffed. Fuck. Y'all good? Miyuki couldn't keep his focus but asked anyway. Yeah, I'm fine, damn it. He heard you and Yoshitaro clearly. Fatigue status, boys. Mine is 70, Miyuki said, panting. Shit, you got the holy number there. I'm 76. Yoshitaro cursed. Huh? Huff? 73. You didn't care anymore as he shut his eyes. Miyuki smirked as the boys grinned hard. He looked at the time. 13 minutes and 55 seconds. No way. Miyuki's pupils trembled. That felt like a decade to me. After all of that, he thought, there's less than 5 minutes left, but he never thought they'd manage to do it better than he expected. He never thought they'd do it so fast in the first place. You 3. The boys glanced at the source. It was Hans. You all fine? No, we're not. Hans backed away a little after seeing Miyuki's mood. Anyway, we killed all the titans as promised, Miyuki said with a grin. Thump, 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 thump. The ground began shaking again. This vibration, even though the 3 of them just arrived in this world not long ago, they had more than 10 times the experience dealing with titans than Hans. Boys. Miyuki clicked his tongue. The bastards are coming. What? Yu's expression said, you're shitting me? Again? Yeah, I know how you feel, man. Miyuki glanced back as he walked to the top of the pile of titan bodies. Yoshitaro started warming up again and followed him. Yu sighed and followed them. As they reached the top of the titans' corpses, Miyuki could see people running, anxiety on their faces. Son of a bitch, Miyuki mumbled. Still far away, the titans were coming. Hurry up, we'll close the gate soon. The titans are still coming. He could hear soldiers trying to evacuate the people. What should we do? The armored titan might show up and destroy the gate behind us, Yu whispered to Miyuki. I know that, and we still have so much time left that it might kill us all. You 3 should evacuate to the boat too. Miyuki glanced back as Hans talked to him. Old man, did the boat depart already? Hans shook his head. They're probably still stuck at the back of the line. The boat is overloaded, so they have to wait a little or the mechanism might break. Miyuki squinted his eyes. 13 minutes and 15 seconds. TCH. He cursed. They knew they had already used the majority of their stamina. A battle royale between them and the titans was never an option. The road was now clear of people. Miyuki saw only ruins, titan bodies, and more titans coming their way. This road had become no man's land once again. Mr. Hands, what should we do? Hands? We should close the gate now. No, there are still civilians here, you crazy fucker. There's no other way? Help from higher up isn't here yet? Not closing the gate is just suicide. He heard the soldiers shouting to Hands. People were running from the titans. He even bet some soldiers were running from the battlefield. These fuckers. They should be ashamed of making non-soldier teenagers like them work on the front line. But he was aware of this since his past life. No matter how modern society has developed, there's a rule that still stands: you exploit or be taken advantage of. As Chris, he applied that mindset to reach the top. He'd use everything to reach the top? Rudy shut them up. Silence. Yoshitaro screamed, and the crowd of soldiers fell silent. The soldiers started to remember these three who had led the titans before. Furthermore, the one looking at them was the one who had made the plan to kill the titans before. Right now, Miyuki pointed his sword in his right hand at the titans. The titans are coming. Once they start to reach this place, the people won't be able to evacuate. The cannons are now useless. Thus, the only way to prevent it is by fighting the titans head-on. No, one of the soldiers screamed. There's no way I'll go to that hell again. I don't want to die. Fuck this. I'll join my family on the boat. Me too. I'll join my daughter too. You bastard. Are you out of your mind? We can't reload the cannons again after the last attack. Who do you think you are? I'm out of here. Hearing this, Miyuki calmly said, so be it. Run like cowards if you must. But remember this. If that gate falls again, you'll watch your cat, your family, your daughter, or loved ones get devoured by the titans. Hear me out, you worthless kook. Even if you survive this and start a new family, know this: if I die here, then suddenly reborn as your kid, I'll find a titan and kill myself again. Miyuki's voice rang out, stopping the soldiers in their tracks, as they vividly pictured the horror he described. That's right, fuckers. You'll either die here and become titan food, or run and see your family eaten alive. But don't despair. Remember, we launched a counterattack before, and we won? And we'll win once again. They looked at each other, then at the three young men and Vice Captain Hands standing triumphantly atop the pile of titan corpses. They began to question, didn't these guys defeat the titans before? Think about it. If you have anything you wish to protect, then fight. Miyuki roared, lifting his bloodied sword to the sky. Or just die pathetically, whining like a bitch about how things never get better. He glanced back at the titans, and the soldiers felt their spirits ignite, their gaze transformed with rage. Everyone, advance. Miyuki shouted as he jumped and charged forward. Wohoo, alright, brother. Sigh. You sigh. He removes the ODM gear after his gas runs out. Yoshitaro and Yu followed him as the soldiers let out their war cries. Fwoosh, fwoosh, fwoosh. 100 silhouettes cast the three of them, the sound of gas echoes as the soldiers maneuver above them. Passive skill, charisma has been awakened. You have a natural charm to command an army. By increasing your army's morale, their stats will increase by 5%. Player Ishigami Yu has received a 5% buff. Player Zamokusa Yoshitaro has received a 5% buff. These system messages wouldn't matter if he and the boys died here. He'd use everything. At this point, he didn't need to make Yoshitaro use his active decoy skill again. Instead, Miyuki was prepared to use these soldiers as decoys to protect himself and the boys. Above all, he refused to die here on a mere tutorial floor. 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. It didn't take long for the clash between men and titans to begin. It's not a fight, rather, suicide attempt. The number of soldiers began to decrease quickly because, unlike the Survey Corps, the garrison regiment had never dealt with titans head-on. AAA, help, help me, crunch. A 6-meter-tall titan bites the poor soul's head off. It was an unforgettable scene for them, but they would be next if they let down their guard. Miyuki gritted his teeth, his hair flowing back as he ran. He then swung his sword twice, aiming for the titan's feet. Slash, slash, blood splashed on his face. The titan wobbled and fell with the dead soldier in its hand. Shing! Yu prepared his two dagger-like swords in front of him. He jumped, flipped his body forward, and landed on the titan's head. Slash, thud. He landed on its nape and then slashed the titan's nape. Active skill, critical strike has been activated. Daggers only. Your attacks have become more efficient. You'll be able to deal damage to enemies' vital areas. You'll be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Player Ishigami Yu has slain the enemy. He didn't waste time staying there. As the titan fell, he ran on its back and followed Miyuki's path. On the vanguard, Miyuki slashed the feet. The titan falls. On the rear, Yu slashed the nape. And repeat. The two kept moving forward, their silence not hindering their teamwork. However, their movements visibly slowed down with fatigue. Slash, cook. His sword stuck. Miyuki tried to push the sword into the titan's feet, but he couldn't muster his strength. He snapped as a big hand reached out to him. There was no gap, and he couldn't move. Huffed. Goddammit. He grabbed the handle of his sword hard, forcing his body to move. Slash, 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 slash. He slashed the titan's hand, and it crumbled into pieces. He rolled down and swung his sword again at the titan's feet. Slash, 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 Active skill, consecutive slashes has been awakened. You'll be able to draw multiple slashes within 10 seconds. You'll be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. As the system announced, player Ishigami Yu has slain the enemy. Thud. The Titan fell as Yu finished it off with just one slash. Warning. Fatigue, 90. Your fatigue has reached a dangerous point. Please take a rest. Miyuki looked at the blue window floating in front of him. Huffed. 10 slashes in 10 seconds. That skill drained shit out of me. Miyuki mumbled slowly, his hands trembling as he fell to his knees. From the Titan's back, Yu glanced at Miyuki, who kneeled and rested his hand on his sword. Fast, that move, must be. Yu mumbled, thinking maybe Miyuki had just acquired a new skill. He glanced back and saw Yoshitaro trying to pick up 2 ODM swords from a dying soldier and attempting to keep up with them. Yoshitaro might be able to awaken another skill. However, without their backup, Yoshitaro might die. Because now, he and Miyuki, it was impossible to keep this up. Fatigue, 87. He looked at it. Let's retreat. Yu said, thinking that Hachiman might have finished his work already. Furthermore, the objective of this tutorial floor was to survive and rescue Carla Jaeger. Surviving didn't necessarily mean fighting Titans. They had already completed the rescue part and had done their best to keep Titans away from Carla Jaeger, who was likely safe now after being evacuated to the inner part of the wall. Thanks to Miyuki, who became the vanguard, Yu could save as much stamina as possible. Even so, his fatigue is way too much. He just wants to lie down on the bed now. 9 minutes and 19 seconds. He glances at Miyuki. Let's find Hachiman and hide somewhere for the next 9 minutes. Nico. Yu snapped back as Miyuki shouted at him. But then his senses screamed as he looked ahead. A Titan was crawling on its hands and feet like a four-legged animal, its mouth wide open, speeding toward him. His brain told him to move, but his body couldn't react due to the overwhelming fatigue. But then he felt someone push him. He saw Miyuki pushing him with his left hand, and in that moment, crunch, the Titan quickly bit Miyuki's left hand, shaking its head and swinging Miyuki left and right as it kept moving. Both Yu and Yoshitaro paused for a moment. It was a horrifying scene, their brother being tossed around in the Titan's mouth like food. Player Shirogane Miyuki is bleeding. The player's HP will go down slowly. Yu didn't waste time. He chased down the Titan, his eyes red with fury. Yoshitaro's face turned white as a sheet as he dropped the 2 swords. Chris. He shouted as he ran toward him. Gah! Miyuki screamed. Yu and Yoshitaro rushed to save Miyuki, rage enveloping them. What the hell was that cracking sound? His bones? Miyuki gritted his teeth as he couldn't feel his left hand anymore, his blood rushing like crazy. Furthermore, this Titan didn't stop shaking its head. He is having crazy vertigo, a prey who has just been caught. He could feel that his left hand might fall off anytime. HP, 100/100-HP, 75/100. With just that attack. HP, 74/100. HP, 73/100. HP, 72/100. Too fast? That's too fast. With his mind growing dizzy, Miyuki tried to keep the sword in his right hand within his grasp. Slash. He cut off his left hand. After that, he began to freefall from the mouth of the 2-story-sized Titan. Thud. HP, 70/100-HP, 60/100. He rolled down after the loud thud and his HP had decreased after the fall. Miyuki gritted his teeth. His left arm was gushing blood. He tried to move and stand up. But then, his surroundings grew dark, a shadow cast upon him. He glanced and met the Titan from before. That son of a bitch's mouth was still red and reeking of his blood. The Titan's hand reached for him. He only had his right hand. Miyuki weakly stabbed his sword against its palm. Fatigue, 93. You lack stamina. Active skill, consecutive slashes is currently not available. Miyuki chuckle, tutorial my ass. He panting, his vision blurred. 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Just a little more. But why? Not here. I didn't want to die here. His eyes moved to the side as Yoshitaro shouted. Active skill, decoy has been activated. Enemies will solely target you and be prevented from targeting your allies for 10 minutes. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Fucking idiot, Miyuki mumbled. The Titan's attention shifted its gaze to Yoshitaro, who then started to run without a second thought. Yu changed his target. He went to Miyuki, but Miyuki raised his palm to stop him. I'll be fine. Back him up. He shouts as he begins to adjust his belt to stop the bleeding on his left arm. Yu quickly changed his path, feeling that the 5% buff from Miyuki's skill was still attached to him. Rudy, don't. What was that bastard doing? He didn't have the skill to kill a Titan. Right now, Yoshitaro couldn't think straight. He just wanted to kill this son of a bitch who hurt his brother. No. I'll kill all of you right here. Stop. Yu shouted at him, but the Titan already had its mouth open, charging at him like a four-legged animal. But Rudy caught the upper and lower Titan's teeth. At that moment, he felt his strength increase significantly. Kriak. He pulled, breaking the Titan's jaw with only his bare hands. Active skill, Berserk has been awakened. A skill that will change your sanity to madness. Strength stats will increase by 15%. Your HP will decrease by 1 every second for 1 minute. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. What? Yu stopped in his tracks as he suddenly felt a chill. But he quickly forgot this feeling as he slashed the Titan's feet with his dagger. Boom! The Titan's belly met the ground after it lost both legs. Meanwhile, Yoshiteru ignored the system messages. As the Titan's jaw completely dislocated, he grabbed its neck as if to choke it, placed his left foot on its shoulder, and pushed. Ray-a-a-a-a! Yoshiteru screamed. Crack! The sound of bone cracking was loud, and flesh tore apart. He pulled as some of the backbones appeared. Yoshiteru severed the Titan's head from its body, and the Titan didn't move again. As the Titan fell, Yu looked at Yoshiteru. Blood splashed on his head and parts of his body, and steam rose from the Titan's blood. Furthermore, Yoshiteru's eyes turned white. Then a grin flashed across his face. Ha 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 ha, I kill it. Then, Yoshiteru put all his strength into his feet as he jumped about 6 meters. Below, Titans looked at him, their hands trying to reach him. Using his momentum, he clenched his fist as he fell rapidly into the Titan's mouth, then emerged from the back of its nape with a grin. Player's Amokusa Yoshiteru has slain the enemy. HP, 70/100. HP, 69/100. It had been 16 seconds since he had used this skill. When he landed, he quickly grabbed the feet of the Titan he had just killed. Then Yoshiteru spun, using the body to knock down the horde of Titans circling him. Thud, thud, thud. Fatigue, 82. Fatigue, 83. Fatigue, 84. His fatigue rose and HP kept falling, but Yoshiteru's mind was shut off because of that skill. Is this hell? Hans looked below. He saw Yoshiteru pulling that off, laughing with an insane look. How? Is he even human? Hans? The Titans have been distracted. This is the chance to kill them all. As someone called him, Hans looked down at the boy with blonde hair. His eyes widened when he saw his left hand was gone. But he kept coming here and fighting. When he saw them keep fighting, Hans's soul seemed to tremble. He wanted to join them, especially following the blonde who lost his left arm. All soldiers. The soldiers just stared at this scene until they snapped back to reality. Let's kill these son of a bitch. Hans shouted as others let out their battle screams and came down with their gear. Passive skill, Charisma. You have a natural charm to command an army. By increasing your army's morale, their stats will increase by 5%. The grind never stops. Chapter 8, Chapter 8. Hackman's POV. I managed to get Carla Jaeger to the boat as people crammed into this wooden vessel without leaving space. Everyone here, including myself, could hear something happening behind the wall. The soldiers and my brothers are fighting there, buying me time. Where's your father? Do you know where he is? I asked the kid with short hair, and he shakes his head. Father went somewhere. He said he was checking on his patients again today, but I don't know where he went. Right now, Carla Jaeger's condition is not good. I'm doing what I can to treat her wounds. However, I'm worried because the boat has not left yet. If she doesn't receive better treatment, she might die at any moment. This hard situation. It seems I have to change my perspective again about this second life. Without sacrifice, I'll never achieve anything. I thought, when I was reincarnated, I would be special. No, I am special. It's just that I thought I could have anything I wanted with just a small effort. Status. Identity. Name, Hakigaya Hachiman. Age, 15. Race, human. Class, none. Level, 1. MP. Fatigue, 18. Stats. Strength. Health. Agility. Sense. Intelligence. Passive skills. None. Active skills. None. I chuckle. What am I thinking? It's not like seeing my status now will help me. After the system put us in this situation, I was the first one devoured by weakness and fear. I don't know how the system works, maybe because of it, I'm the only one who didn't awaken a skill. If I join my brother now, I think I could awaken it. But they trust her to me. Huffed, huffed, huffed. Carla's breathing is fast. I place my palm on her forehead, she has a fever. Shit. As I curse, the bridge to the boat is lifted, and the boat begins to move. Brother, the boat is moving. We can't just leave them there. Eren Yeager screams at me. I stay silent, TCH. I know, damn it. I don't want to leave my brother there. I want to fight too, but I can't leave her if something bad happens. But if she dies, this tutorial floor will be messed up. Crap. If this were the modern era, she might have a better chance, and I could treat her much better. But this is the world of Attack on Titan, it doesn't have such conveniences. Come on, think. I know I would have become a good surgeon if I hadn't died before. Wait. That's it. This is a tutorial floor. I wondered why I was thinking of solving this matter with my basic medical knowledge, but I'm reincarnated in a world with magic. Yeah, I shouldn't be thinking with common sense. I recalled back then when we all hiding in that building. How did you manage to get a skill? I asked the idiot, Rudy. I purposely asked him because he'd tell me honestly how he pulled that off. I dunno. I just believed that I could fight the Titan. This reminds me of the silver-haired dude with 100% confidence in his ability. But I learned that they must believe that they could fight the Titan. I just need confidence and to change my objective. I look at Carla again and place my right palm on her forehead to check her condition. I look at her lost leg, and I can even hear her fast breathing as if she's enduring the pain without painkillers. With a huff, I let out a long breath as I calmed myself and thought that I didn't have to fight the Titan. I just need to heal her. Huh. I mumble. Suddenly, my right palm starts glowing, then a green light envelopes Carla. I can hear murmurs going wild on this boat, but I'm too focused on the scene before me. Carla's facial expression turns calm, but then I notice the light also coming from her lost leg. After some time, the lights formed a leg-like form. As the lights stop, I restore Carla's health and even her lost leg. Active skill, heal has been awakened. A skill that can heal any kind of wound. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. Holy. A blue screen appears, notifying me that I've awakened a skill. Where am I? I snap back as I look at Carla. Her eyes are now open, cluelessly. But her condition is as good as new. Mom. Auntie? Are you okay? Eren and the girl Mikasa come closer to her. Brother, thank you so much. I smile a bit at this and give them some space. Hold up. I glance around and meet people's gazes. The god who made the wall has descended from the sky to save us all. My lord? Please help us. Help us to kill all the titans and save humanity. The titan killed my family there. I beg you, please revive them back to life. I'll do whatever you want. I'll become your slave. What the hell? People here start to bow and worship me. Wait, I'm not Jesus. I try to push them away from me, but they keep bowing. I feel like a sinner here. Well, this world is normal without magic, and I just restored Carla's leg with light coming from my palm. So technically, I do look like a god to them, but I'm not. Player Shirogane Miyuki is bleeding? The player's HP will go down slowly. What? Huh. My heartbeat quickens as a blue screen appears again. What the hell happened to Chris? Come to think of it, the system might give us something to fight with, but it doesn't make us invincible. That means, get away from me. The people are scared shitless after hearing my scream and make some space. I walk away to create some distance as I look ahead because I'll jump from this boat. Sir, where are you going? The question comes from Carla. She's fine now, and I don't have to worry about her again. I glance at Eren and nod at him. He nods back as I look ahead again. I run as fast as I can, then step on the edge for a big jump. Thud. Shit. That fucking hurt. I managed to land, but I think I broke my ankle. Well, no worries. Active skill, heal has been activated. A skill that can heal any kind of wound. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. I use the skill on myself. After that, I start to run back to the gate. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. There are still 8 minutes left, and the boat has already sailed quite far from Shiganshina. Player Shirogane Miyuki's fatigue has reached 100. Player's HP will reduce by 1 every second. Player Ishigami Yu is bleeding? The player's HP will go down slowly. Player Zamokusa Yoshitaro is bleeding? The player's HP will go down slowly. Player Zamokusa Yoshitaro's fatigue has reached 100. Player's HP will reduce by 1 every second. Shit. The boys are in danger. 7 minutes and 21 seconds. I keep running as 1 minute passes. I can see that the gate is there. I get closer and closer, but I need to be faster. Active skill, haste has been awakened. A buff skill that gives 5% to agility. The buff will last for 5 minutes. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. In this dire situation, I manage to get another skill. Suddenly, another light appears around my body and my speed increases. I arrive at the gate and I pass through it. 6 minutes and 46 seconds. This place is quiet. Where are the titans? Player Zamokusa Yoshitaro's HP has reached below 10%. His life is in great danger. Shit. I run further. I arrive at the town square and see a pile of titan bodies, but I don't find my brothers here. Following this straight road, I see more titan bodies along the way, meaning the fight is ongoing. Later, I find not just dead titans but also dead people and soldiers. Player Shirogane Miyuki's HP has reached below 10%. His life is in great danger. Fuck. Chris? Nico? Rudy? Where are you? At that moment, I see a lot of dead titans in one place, and then I hear someone coughing. Boys. Miyuki's left hand is gone, blood coming out of his mouth as he leans his back against a titan's body. Yoshitaro is covered in blood, having lost both arms as he lies on the ground. Yu seems better than them, but he might not be. I don't waste a single moment when I see them. I arrive beside Yoshitaro and extend my palm to him. My palm emits a green light. Shit, but what about the two of them? I focus my skill on my left hand, and then 2 green lights shoot from my palm, reaching Miyuki and Yu. Active skill, heal has been activated. A skill that can heal any kind of wound. You will be able to use active skills without mana and cooldowns on the tutorial floor. This looks like a skill from a game. So, I can heal them without worrying about the distance, huh? 5 minutes and 46 seconds. After 1 minute, their condition becomes better, but they are still unconscious. 2 minutes and 39 seconds. It seems because their condition is far worse than Carla's, my skill requires a lot of time to heal them. I haven't even managed to restore Miyuki and Yoshitaro's arms. Cough, cough. I hear someone coughing again. Is someone there? This sound. When I find the person, my hunch is right. Mr. Hands. In the middle of the road, I see Hands leaning against the wall, missing his right arm. He then slightly opens his left eye to look at me. Cough. Kid, run. I cancel the healing spell on my right hand and use it again. 2 green lights shoot at Yoshitaro and Hands. I sigh with relief, grateful my skill doesn't require mana. What? Hands mumbles. While my skill heals him, I can read his condition as if I have an MRI. Hans' condition is better compared to my brother's. After a while, Hans gives a look exactly like the people when they saw this green light. What just happened? Hans asks as the green light stops shooting at him. I don't answer him and focus on these 35 seconds. The boys haven't awakened yet. Just a little bit more. Bang! That sound, isn't that light? Oh, come on. Stomp, 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 stomp. From afar, the sound of giants walking slowly. The ground trembles as I look back and pale. Its eyes light up in this direction. No, I think it's looking at me, giving me a judgmental look. There is a titan around 10 to 15 meters tall, but it's not a normal one. The titan is clad in armor-like segments. The armored titan? I'm terrified as that thing starts to run. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Suddenly, the part of its mouth opens, and steam comes out. Kid, don't just sit there, run. Hans shouts at me. Ain't running, I just kneel there as I keep healing the boys. As the armored titan closes in on me, I can no longer see its face, all I can see are the feet running this way. Fuck. I grit my teeth and shut my eyes. Stage clear. Tutorial floor has been completed. Players have met the objective to complete the tutorial floor. Initiating the analysis of the players' battles. An artificial woman's voice. But I don't care. I open my eyes again, but then, I arrive at what looks like paradise, thinking I died real fucking quick. That's what I thought, but this scene is familiar to me. Someone groans beside me. Did we all die? Fuck, my back hurts. When I confirm the voice, I glance to my side. Yu sits down, his eyes half open lazily. As he asks, Miyuki picks his nose with his left hand. Yoshiteru grumbles. When I see them as good as new, except for their clothes, I know that we survived the armored titan.